Hey, check it. Hey, check it. Put the place up. Hey, check it. Hey, check it. Put the place up.
Chronicle launch for the sports hit list by the fans and for the fans. Happy New Year to everyone out there. We are still saying that even though we're 4 days in. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for always to continue to support the Sports Hit List brand. Like, share, comment, subscribe to all of our content across all social media platforms. Just Google the Sports Hit List, and you will find out what we're about. We're on Twitch. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We're on TikTok. We're on Twitter, even though I don't use it, but we still have it. So we're all over the place. My man, Mike, Happy New Year, my brother. Did you get that Blue Moon soup? Because you know you're in trouble if you didn't have any.
Yo, listen, I told you, man, it was a crazy week. She didn't make it this week, and you know, we still in Texas, so all the fam ain't around. So I did not get it this year, my brother. But I was living vicariously through your picture that you sent me, my man.
Listen, man, I wish you lived closer. I would have hopped on a train. My mom makes bowls for my friends. She'll be like, does your friends want some?
Listen,
if I had known, I would have had you. Not even that. Even for Deb's mom sent me on a run to go pick up for her. And I had another bowl. Like, I was on a run that day just to deliver soup to everybody. That was my job, was to deliver it. Basically,
if we was home, you already know it would have been. But my mom came in to visit. My dad came in to visit right after. It was crazy, man. So Michelle was exhausted. I wasn't putting her through that.
Shout out to Michelle, no, but definitely, again, I really wish you guys were closer because I was literally on the Soup Zoom run. I had a big pot in my back of my car. Yo, I literally was going from Rosedale to Laurelton back to Rosedale to Valley Stream.
That's what I'm talking about,
Yo,
man.
it was crazy. And then basically Devin and her sister were like, I'm the MVP because I want to make sure everyone gets their soup.
Nah,
Whatever.
that's
it was cool.
You're a real one for that, my brother.
Yeah, it's a cool. But we starting off the year. I know with the NFL, I'm sure you're keeping up with what's going on with that. We still want to send out our prayers to Hamlin. There's been a lot of talk. I'm sure you've seen with Skip. I know you're not into the NFL, but is there anything you wanted to cover with that real quick before we get into our NBA? Because we do talk about sports, and this is definitely a heavy topic that's been going on. Any thoughts to share? Well,
I first of all, definitely praying for DeMar Hamlin. I mean, I was in the gym when I found out about it, and it kind of messed me up for most of the morning, man. So prayers out to him and his family. But it did. It was a huge reminder of, of course, everybody's talking about how life is short and you never know what can happen. But not as if he's past anything like that. But and just for me, the conversation has to be about football. And I was watching Democracy Now! Earlier, and Dante Stallworth and Charles Weldon, I believe his name is, that wrote the book $40 Million Slaves. They were on and they were talking about the question posed to both of them on the panel was, should football be banned? And you all know I stopped watching football. What is it now? Since the cap situation, that was like 20. Like 5 years. Yeah, and of course it started with Cap, then it kind of transitioned to what some of the owners were saying. But ultimately I landed with not watching football because of the potential for the tragic situations like we saw with DeMar Hamlin. People don't even realize that right before he got hurt, another player just had gotten hurt and got a concussion right before that and had to be taken off the field. I think it was a concussion. So there is a real conversation to have. And that's why I landed on not watching football, because I just, especially with the league being 85% Black, I just don't really want to see my brothers go through things like that, especially such a terrifying thing. And I think we do have to have a larger conversation as a community of what we think about men bashing their heads together, which is, the human body is not supposed to be experiencing that kind of pain, all the knowledge we know about CT and everything. So, and then Tua with it. So it's just a lot. It does create this larger conversation in the midst of, because they didn't play. And I hated what Skip said. And even this morning on Undisputed, I thought that was just despicable how he reacted to Shannon. Really, you could tell he said he pretty much didn't show up yesterday because he was emotional about it. And for Skip to be so indignant, it just was a ugly scene. So yeah, definitely praying for the young brother, man. I can't wait to hear what happens with him after all of this. But yeah, it's definitely a conversation that needs to be had about playing football and if any of us should be watching it.
Ziggy, Happy New Year, my brother. How you doing,
sir?
Yo,
what's going on? Happy New Year.
Before we get into what your thoughts are on DeMar Hamlin, did you get your Blue Moon soup? Because you're honorary Haitian. I asked Mike. Mike didn't get it, but did you get some?
Come on, I can't have none of that Blue Moon soup, man. I'm a pescatarian, so I can't really touch too much of that Blue Moon soup.
I feel you, but I mean, we still honor you as that Haitian. So, but Happy New Year for sure. Quick thoughts on DeMar Hamlin in that situation before we get into the NBA, because we've definitely been talking about it in the hitless streets. And
to be honest, man, that was freaky, man. That was really scary. As actually, I was tuning into the I forgot who was playing the Golden State Warriors game that night. Play had 54 against, I forgot who that was.
Atlanta.
But I was Atlanta, right? Yeah, when him and Trae Young and DeJounte Murray was going back and forth, and then I saw the chat and they was like, "Yo, it's crazy what's happening." I never seen CPR. Flipped the channel, I saw what happened. I was just like, "Oh my goodness, this is scary." I was hoping everything was working out for him. In the end, it seems like he's pulling through. I'm hoping that he just continues to recover. I heard that tail end bit, Mike, that you was talking about. Carl, you saw what I was saying in the chat. I was not happy at all with Skip Bayless. I don't care what Jarv was jacking. I don't care what Rick Etienne was saying. They was talking more so from the media landscape and the back and forth. And, it's like, I think they said like pro wrestling, but I wasn't trying to hear none of that. I mean,
yeah, that's what I think it is. I think the fix is in, but go ahead.
Yeah, but everybody, like for me, I was just angry, like that Skip could say some nonsense like that and try to, fix it like, well, it's a big game, but it's irrelevant now. Like all you had to say was like, yo, prayers up to the dude, because the man just dropped, and for you to be talking like that and still kind of talk about it was just annoying. I didn't like it at all. It was nasty. But as we see, he's recovering. Hopefully he's able to breathe on his own soon. Prayers up to him and his family. I definitely sent them a message on IG, and I'll never do that to nobody, no sports figure, nothing like that. So hopefully he's back on his feet, and we'll see what comes in the future.
Andres, Happy New Year, my brother. How you doing, sir?
Listen, man, I'm on a great panel right now. It's day 4 of 2023. I'm feeling thankful and blessed. I get to talk some basketball with you guys, man. I thank the Lord every day that like I'm still here. It's a new year to be great. But I'm starting off the year with these three. I mean, it's gonna be a great 2023. So I'm happy, man. I can't stop smiling. I'm very happy, bro.
Always a pleasure to have you, man. Thank you. Thoughts on
Happy New Year,
brother.
Quick thoughts
Good to
on
see you,
DeMar Hamlin.
Mikey. God bless, bro. He's like, I don't want to get emotional, man, but he's like what 2-3 years older than me, maybe 2 years older than me, bro. Like me and Carl always had this conversation. I've had this conversation with Zig one time. Like you can't take like life for granted, man. Just seeing someone like my age, like I don't want to imagine my parents if I was gone. Like the law of life goes, you're never supposed to bury your own kid. You know what I mean? So like obviously he's like good right now, but like you start to like question yourself, and you start to like think about so many things when you see something like that. You know what I mean? So the thing that hit me the most was him being like almost my age, man. Like you're never supposed to bury your own son. You know what I mean? Like that's not the law of life. So prayers to him and his family. Hopefully he pulls through. And Rick said it yesterday. He could be his dad. So, and Rick has 2 young kids or 3 young kids, if I'm not mistaken. And Mike, you have kids too and stuff. So like seeing someone like that age, man, like I'm getting like goosebumps and getting like choked up talking about it, man. Like it's crazy. You're not supposed to outlive your parents, man.
Yeah, definitely prayers up for DeMar Hamlin and his family, as reports still seem to come out. Critical condition, they're really not saying much. So from my perspective, I just want people to just stop speculating what happened. And I think that's what grinds my ears, is when people are telling me, well, we heard this and we heard like I can't, like we don't know anything yet until something is.
But we know that's journalism, though. You're not supposed to be right. You're supposed to be the first.
No, it's not even just journalism. It's just more so hearsay conversation with people, like just
yeah,
people,
for sure.
So and I think sometimes I heard like, no, like just try to stick to the facts and what we actually honestly know. So that being said, we are here to talk about some NBA. We haven't had a show in a while. I apologize for that. The semester got crazy. I was busy handing out Fs, and
No, you weren't. No, you weren't.
I was. I will show you my grade book. I kid you not. I gave at least 4 to 5.
But we all want to know. But why are you bragging about that? You bragging about ruining people's lives. Look,
I didn't know. We're not ruining their lives. They ruined their own lives.
They ruined their own lives.
See, these 2 teachers are here. I forgot.
You see? Thank you, Zig. Thank you, my man. You see? They ruined their own lives.
They ruined their own lives. They earned the grade, right, Zig?
Yeah, exactly. We don't get. See, that's the misconception about teachers. We don't give the grades. You earn your own grades. So you earn that. It is what it is. It is what it is. That being said, we got some topics here. So here's what we're gonna do. I have 5 topics here, 4 topics, and if I don't have a topic you want to talk about, you can talk about it. So you guys can select what you want to do. I'm gonna give the floor to Mike first. So we got the NBA scoring frenzy, because the NBA has been on a scoring frenzy as a tear. The Nets are contenders or pretenders. The Celtics downslide. LeBron's historical run. He seems like he's a defeated father time. Or you could fill in the blank and say, you know what, Carl, you don't have a topic I like. I'm going to address my own. What are your thoughts here, Mike?
Yo, man, we should be touching all of these. It's been a while, my brother.
Why don't we all talk about them? Let's all talk about them.
I'm saying we should be talking about all of these.
All right, we want to talk about them, so we can start off with the scoring frenzy if you want.
Order.
Well, if we're going to start with the scoring frenzy, our numbers, I'm going to leave it to our Mr. Numbers guy. I asked him to look up these numbers for me, and that's what he does. I know he loves it. So Andres is going to give us the top 10 scoring from the last top 10 players, right? That the highest.
No. Well, last 10 games, the players that are averaging 30 or more.
Okay.
Wait, give us a number.
Look at this guy. Ready? Number 1, Luka Doncic, 38.2. Number 2, Giannis, 37.8. Number 3, LeBron, 34.6. Number 4, that boy special, Jason Tatum, 34. Number 5, Joel Embiid, 33.7. And number 6, Donovan Mitchell with 30. That's in the last 10 games. So, Carl, before everyone takes the floor, I do want to say one thing. Obviously, I know you guys don't like advanced stats and analytics, but I'm just going to say this. Every NBA team has 100 possessions or more per game for the first time ever. Last year, 26 teams had it. This year, every single team has 100 possessions per game. We're talking about per game. We know back in the day, guys like Wilt had 100 possessions per game, guys like Bill Russell, but every single NBA team has 100 possessions per game for the first time ever, like ever. So if you want to talk about a theory as to why there's a scoring frenzy, that's my theory. I'm going to leave it to the other 3 gentlemen to tell me what they think.
In addition, we could also add, like in terms of in addition to the scoring frenzy and the averages, the individual performances as well. We saw Donovan Mitchell with a 71-point game. Giannis had a career high with 55 last night. I think Joel Embiid in the beginning, earlier in the year, what did he have? I think he had like 59, right? So we've seen a lot of individual scoring feats. Does that say something about the defense is minimal? And also because we're seeing so many of it now, does it devalue a player scoring as many points now? Because it's becoming so common. Because it's becoming so common. Like, that's a fair question. Mike.
I'm gonna disagree with the fellas. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's devaluing it. You're devaluing it for you.
Because you listen, we say as a general rule, 50 is 50. But I ain't gonna lie. When I heard Giannis have 55, I was like, okay. Like Donovan Mitchell just had 71. like Donovan Mitchell just had 71. Luka had 60 last week. Like Luka had 52. Like,
so the standard's no longer 55. Now we're raising it to.
Look, I was looking at something crazy the other day. Like, I think it said in the past 10 years, we've had more 20-point per game scorers than in the past 10 years. So once the scoring went up by the teams, it was going to go up by individuals. We all remember James Harden year when he got all those numbers. It did. I probably remember saying it here. It did kind of feel like, all right. And I think part of that is I'm a little bit jaded because I think being an older NBA fan, it's like, all right, well, let me see you do that in the playoffs. Like, I guess I'm being consumed by the media and them making.
But you know what?
Wait,
hold on. But to that point, though, Mike, Donovan Mitchell was on NBA Today, and they asked him something about that, and he said, the scoring is great. Or they asked him about that in his MVP candidacy, and he said that's great, but 71 is great, but I lose, it doesn't mean anything. The team accolade, the team accolade means more than the 71-point feat. And as far as the MVP, Andres, what was your point? What were you gonna say?
Bro, like so you three, the 3 of you are older than me, right? Averaging 30 back in the day, you were looked at like a demigod. Like, it used to be like you were like one of them. You know what I mean? So like, I don't mean to turn this into a Melo slander fest, Zig, but like when Melo averaged 29 back in 2013, everyone looked at it like, holy shit, he averaged 29. You know what I mean? But like now it's like 28, like that's it. Like 27, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy that you can average 30 points per game now and not win a scoring title. That's why scoring titles are irrelevant when you're comparing 2 players.
And to the first part of my question,
hold. He always goes too far. That's it.
Hold on 1 second. Zig. So the first part of my question is: the defense in the NBA lacking, or is it just that the scoring is just that much better?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, we've seen what the NBA has done to the defense over the years. Mike alluded to the fact that he's an old-time NBA fan. I'm not older than Mike, but I do remember watching if you were around and watched the NBA on NBC, you knew about defense. You know what I mean? You remember watching the Knicks, you get the Knicks-Miami matchup, then you get a Seattle matchup, West Coast or a Laker, Kings, something like that. Pacers. You remember watching those Pacers, Knicks, and you remember watching that, and the defense was, stout. Now there's all these rules that allow the players to kind of open up. There's no more hand checking. We still talk about that to this day. Everything is open. And then on top of that, too, the players, the three-point ball is so big time now in today's NBA game, where if you watch that game where Donovan had 71, I think he pulled up from the center of the three-point line. He pulled up 14 times and made 7.
All jumpers. All jumpers.
That's what I'm saying. All jumpers. Everything is threes now. You look at Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic is stepping back, taking threes. Giannis is, straight through the paint, dominating people. That's why Mike could sit back and say, like, 55 points, that's cute, whatever. You know what I mean? But you go back.
Bro, he's not even laughing.
I know it's
He's not
yo.
even
Listen,
laughing.
I admit, I can't admit that I probably sound stupid. Like I can't admit
No,
that.
but
It sounds
so
silly. Like it
so
sounds
what am I?
silly
No,
to say
Mike.
55.
But
Mike,
you
to your
see,
point-
Ricardo's in the comments and he said, you know what, 50 ain't what it used to be. Just like hitting half a court shot ain't special anymore. Triple doubles weren't really impressive for a while. The milestones aren't so rare anymore. So by default, they don't know wow what it's one set.
I get all of that, but to me,
But 50 is 50, man.
but that's what I'm about to say. To me, at the end of the day, you get a triple double, a big time triple double, like what Luka is doing, or you get 50 plus. I'm giving you respect for that because not everybody in the league is doing that.
We stopped giving respect for triple doubles though, by the way, because we
No,
at
because
some point we were like, we did.
It started to
To be
diminish.
fair,
He was doing it.
because Russ did it. We stopped
he did
giving
it
people.
year
We're like,
after year.
okay, that's it. Like, what does that
Well,
really mean?
Carl, part
It's
of the
just
reason
funny.
is what Donovan Mitchell said about his game. Part of the reason was Russ was doing it and losing. So at some point, it's like, all right, you're getting. Listen, Kenny Smith talked about the looter and the riot. We all, if you're old enough to remember what that term means, it means you get numbers and lose. So at some point, we started looking at Russ's triple double and was like, okay, that's incredible, but like you're losing all the time. You're losing. You're getting
They
traded.
weren't
So what does
losing
it
all the
mean?
time though, Mike.
No, the first year it was a 70% win percentage. From
Okay.
From that
All
point
right.
on,
Okay.
it cratered. They wasn't winning when he was doing it. He was just getting it.
I mean,
That's
as
why they
far
was
as
trading
right,
him.
but as far as the entertainment factor, it's entertaining for the fans to watch these
course.
incredible feats for them to see this happen.
Carl, one of my friends said 50 is the new 30. I couldn't stop laughing, man. Like,
I mean,
Yo, Donovan Mitchell just had 71, bro.
It's
like,
a fair point. If you honestly though, it really is. Like you can't deny it. It is though, because anytime you turn your TV, like NBA TV, like it's just a historic night this night. It's just like, oh my
that's
god,
fire though.
Look at
It
the
is.
example. It's fire,
I'm
but
in
look at the example. Friday, they had 5 dudes that scored 43. Sunday, they had 5 dudes score 43. Like you're seeing people get big numbers all the time. So it starts to taint it, especially Zig just beautifully laid it out. The defense is not the same. So it's easier to
I'm in the
let me
middle,
say this.
honestly.
Let me ask
I'm
this
in the
question
middle.
now. So let me ask this to kind of wrap the segment up. Does it help or hurt the league?
Oh, it helps.
Let me tell you something. Step penning gets you paid. I'm gonna say it helps.
It helps.
Of course. Of course it helps.
It helps.
Of course.
It helps the league. It helps.
It helps.
Okay.
It helps the league. People
I'm
don't want to see defense anymore. People
No,
want to see
exactly.
score the ball. People like to see these stats.
So before we move on to the next topic, most 30-point games: Luka 27, Shai 21, Giannis 20, Embiid 19, Tatum 19, KD and Mitchell 17, and Steph, who hasn't played in 9 games, has 16.
Well, thank you,
So
Mr.
think about
Rivers.
that.
That's why I love having you on the panel, man. We need to give the people the numbers.
Eight different players have scored 30 or more points in 15 different games this season.
Now, when was the last time that happened? You had to. That probably has never happened.
Never. This is the first time ever. I
First
dig
time
through
ever.
every.
See?
I dig through every statistic. It happens at the end of the year. But we're like not even 40 games in. We're not even halfway through a season.
This is my point. It's going crazy.
All right, Carl. Let's move on to the second topic.
All right. Are the Nets are on a 12-game winning streak, right? So are the Nets contenders or pretenders? And remember in the beginning of the season when they had their Steve Nash drama and we were piling up on them and we needed the coaching change. They had the coaching change. They're finally healthy. There's no more drama going on with the team. They're on a 12-game winning streak. They're second in the East. Ziggs, what are your thoughts here? Contenders or pretenders?
I hate the Nets, man.
I love it. So they talk your
Okay,
shit.
can you be unbiased or no? If you can't be unbiased,
I could be unbiased. I definitely think the Nets are contenders. They got Steve Nash out of there. They got Jack Vaughn in. For me, I used to watch Jack Vaughn again when he used to play for Orlando Magic, and I used to think, man, this guy is a crappy player. He just plays a little bit of defense, but those players, they may not be the best players when they were playing, but he's a special coach, man, for what he's doing. He has Kyrie rallying. He has KD rallying. Current 12-game winning streak. They beat Memphis. I think they beat the Bucks.
They beat the Bucks in there, yeah.
All the teams that they're supposed to beat, they're beating them, whether it's by 4 points or whether they're smacking them. They spanked Golden State the other night. They really spanked them the other night. So I'm gonna say they're definitely contenders. I want to give a shout out to somebody who's not getting shouted out a lot. That's Nick Claxton. Nick Claxton is holding
Yes,
it
sir.
down defensively for the Brooklyn Nets. He needs to get his flowers. We know what KD could do. We know what Kyrie could do, but he needs to be on some all-defensive team if he continues to do this. So the Nets are contenders in my book.
Andres, contenders or pretenders?
You know what? Since Zig didn't do it, I want to sip the haterade. I want to sip the haterade real quick. I'm gonna be that guy. You know what? I want to be that guy for once. In the 15 games that the Nets have played, they're 14-1. Their most impressive win and only is probably Cleveland, where
And
Mitchell had an off night, and Milwaukee, because they played the Warriors without Steph. All the other teams, like Zig alluded to, were teams they were supposed to beat. They lost to the Celtics once in that span. So I'm gonna sip the haterade real quick, since everyone's writing the high tail. I'm gonna sip the haterade real quick. I'm gonna just say they're beating teams that they're supposed to beat. They lost to the Celtics. Their most impressive win was probably the Cavs and the Bucks, because the Warriors didn't have Steph. I don't remember the Grizzlies had John Moran or not, but the Grizzlies have been hurt all season. So I'm gonna just say, for now, pretenders. For now. Can it get better? Yes. The Nets just have too many players. They got Kyrie, KD, Royce O'Neal, Nick Claxton, Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Watanabe, who's been really good from three. Joe Harris is shooting 38% from three again. TJ Warren, Patty Mills, Markieff Morris. These are way too many players. Way too many wings. The Nets need to trade one of these guys for a backup center. But I am unbiased, so I will say this. In the last 15, since Jack Vaughn took over, the Nets are 23-7. They lead the league in 3-point percentage. Their offense is third. Their defense is 10th, and they're third in net rating. So as much as I slander them, I can also allude to they've been playing great basketball.
They got a game January 12th against Boston. So
I will be there to cause problems. I will be there. Look for me. I will be in attendance to that game. Manny, Eddie, pull up. Bring the whole Nets congregation. President of the Celtics Nation New York Division will be there. I can't wait for that game. Mike, contenders or pretenders?
I don't know.
I don't see.
You've never said that to me before. You never used those words.
It's a small sample size.
You've never used those words, Mike.
12 games is crazy, but bro, like, I don't know, man, because it's like you could say, like, Andre Ziggy just alluded to everything, like is beating on bad teams. It's like when the Lakers made their little streak a month ago when they beat the Spurs 3 times and then beat the Pistons, and everybody was like, yeah, they're back. Like, they're back. They beat the Spurs and the Pistons. Yeah, if they play the Spurs and the Pistons 50 times, they're gonna make the playoffs. But like the Nets did the same thing. They beat the Pistons twice. They beat the Spurs. Like
they beat the Raptors on a game winner.
They beat the Raptors. Yeah. So I don't know yet. I mean, because ultimately I watched that Celtic game and I saw what happened. So to me, I watched the Bucks game. That was impressive, but Chris Middleton didn't play that game. So I watched when they played the Celtics, which to me is the best team in the East right now still. I saw what happened.
I agree.
So until I can see them beat a really, really good team and be consistent beating good teams, I could say I don't know. I mean, they have all the requisite parts to be a championship team. I'll say that, but I don't know.
I agree.
Right. Manny, I will see you next week. Stop in the comments. It's okay. You don't like what we're saying. It's all good.
I agree.
That being said, let's move on to our next topic.
Wait. What's your take?
You get to make takes too, my man.
Yeah, facts.
Especially considering the one team they played, they didn't win. They didn't beat the Celtics.
Regardless of what I say, is everyone's gonna, you're
who cares?
Okay. You know what? It's a toss up. You know what? I'll say this. It's the same thing about what Mike said.
Bring the old Carl back. This new guy's expired, man. Who is this guy?
I have to tread lightly. No, honestly, I think no. You know what? I'm gonna say they're still pretenders to me. Honestly, they're pretenders. Again, the facts are the facts about the teams that they're beating. You beat the teams that you're supposed to beat. We need to see a little bit more. No drama has hit the team yet. I mean, so far. Don't even
knock on wood.
Okay, they had drama in the past, but we know that they've known for drama. So when there's no drama, they're winning games. So we don't know what's next to come in the future. But when there's no drama, they win games. So it's for me, they're pretenders. I'm sorry.
Look, I really wanted to hate, so I just decided to pivot. But I agree with Mike and Andre. They really haven't played anybody. I'm just being upfront now. I'm being upfront.
They look nice.
Keep it 100. Yeah, Zig, that's what I'm talking about. Just
Anybody,
keep it, Zig. There we
I can't
go.
wait for the game. I'm excited. Like I said, I am there to cause problems. That's all I'm gonna say.
Paul,
I'm there to cause.
Paul, it's in the Barclays Center?
Yes, sir. I got my
Yeah,
ticket.
Paul,
Shout
I'm
out to my
telling you,
sister-in-law, man.
If they spank you in the Barclays Center, you better come on here and be 100.
I will. I'll be on here. Don't worry. I'll be on here.
Wait, Carl, I got one more thing to say. I forgot about this. Like Mike said, listen to this. 10 different players have a 50 ball this season. And Embiid, Luka, and Booker are the only 3 players with multiple 50 balls. 10 different players. We're not even 40 games in.
Do you have those players' names?
I could try to name them off the top of my head. So we got Embiid, we got Luka, we got Devin
Giannis.
Booker.
Giannis just
we
had
got Giannis. That's 4.
Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell, Tatum. That's 5.
Didn't Shea Gildridge have a 50?
I think he did.
I thought he had a 50 earlier.
Yeah, in the season.
I think he had a 50.
I think so.
Klay Thompson had one just
Klay Thompson
now.
had a 50.
Yeah.
That's 8.
Hold on.
That's 8. We're missing 2.
We're missing.
Oh, he didn't get one. John Morant.
No. Anthony Davis had a double nickel. I remember that.
Anthony Davis did have one. You're right. Yeah.
I'm missing. Oh, I remembered. Siakam and Garland had one early in the year.
Siakam had 50 against what? Who did he just had 50 against recently?
52. Yeah, 52.
Against the Knicks.
Against the Knicks. Oh
yeah. And then boom.
All right.
Yeah. So think about that. That's crazy.
So that's
bro.
my
now we can move to the next topic. I'm sorry, Carl.
Okay, you're good. You're good. So the next topic is the Celtics downslide and losing, scoring. First thing I texted Mike this morning, I was just like shaking my head. 150 point. Everyone's tagging me. I'm like, I know they lost by 150. You don't need to tag me. I know. So it's like, so is that something to be concerned about? And again, just knowing, they started off hot. They're still the number 1 seed. You're gonna hit your bumps, but Andres is looking for a hot tag first. So something or nothing that they're giving up 150 points. Marcus Smart gets ejected. Just didn't look right.
Absolutely nothing to worry about because those games like that are going to happen. The only thing that went wrong for the Celtics last night was the offense, if anything. It was not the defense. I know they gave up 150. It was a fluke game without Shai, yada, yada, yada. Since December 1st, the Celtics are 4-4, and they started off the season 18-4. So, excuse me, they're 8-8 since December 1st, and they started off the season 18-4. Their offense hasn't looked good at all. They're 27th in offense since December 1st, and their defense is 4th in the league. And I think they're like top 5 in net rating, if I'm not mistaken. So the problem is, Carl, honestly, I'm gonna just come out and say it, rotations. Jason Tatum is on the bench for way too long. When Jaylen Brown's on the floor without him, they want Jaylen Brown to be the scorer instead of looking to distribute. Like, listen, I understand you're a Celtics fan and you love them both, blah, 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 but like, Jason Tatum is the best player on that team. Jaylen Brown can't hold a candle to him. So when Mazzulla takes Tatum out of the game and lets Brown be the number 1 option, and he's not looking to pass the ball because he has tunnel vision. Year 7 in the league, he still has tunnel vision. So the biggest problem for the Celtics could right now be coaching because of the rotations, and could very well be the offense as well.
Zig, something or nothing.
I don't know. If you're supposed to be a number 1 seed and you give up 150 without Shea Gildridge, that's something for me to think about, man. I'm gonna take the mic route. I really don't know if it's something or nothing. No, screw that. It's something. It's something to look at. I can't condone that. Your star player, you're playing one of the worst teams in the West, and you give up 150 points, and you got your stars playing. You got a healthy you got a healthy team coming in. You give up 150 points to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Like, who was scoring for them? You know what I mean? Was it your Haitian brother who was doing all the work? Like, what was going on over there? That's something for me to look at. I'm gonna say something on that one.
Mike, something or nothing.
I know I saw a stat that they said this was the first time in the past 15 years that 5 players had 20 on one team. Like, 5 players scored at least 20 for the OKC Thunder. So, I mean, I was with Andres, but Zig made a good point, man. You the champions. You supposed to be championship contenders, and you give up 150 to one of the worst teams in the league. That's a little alarming. I'ma still say nothing but Andres, I love your cogent analysis because I watch the Celtics to see, because I'm looking at the best teams I want to see, and that rotation, and particularly Jalen being out, is why y'all lost to the Clippers. I believe it was the Clippers game, because
LA. Yeah,
you
LA game,
consistently see that happening. Where as soon as Jason Tatum's out of the game, because Jason Tatum has rounded out his game. He is not just a scorer. He can facilitate. He plays defense. Jaylen Brown, to Andre's point, still tries to score on every possession. And then when Jason Tatum comes in the game, he does the same thing. So that has to be worked. That's a little tweak that they're going to have to figure out come playoff time. But I'm going to say it's nothing, but Zig, it has a very phenomenal point. That's shaky, baby. If you're doing that to the Thunder, we don't know what anybody else can blow the doors off you too. So that's what I'm saying, Carl. Maybe looking a little ugly in that game next week.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's for me.
I will say this. I think in my humble opinion, Jason Tatum is one of the top 8 players in the NBA. If you have him in a playoff series, you have a shot at winning. But
absolutely.
Yeah, of course. He's number one.
But yeah, that tunnel.
We didn't get to that comment yet. MVP. We didn't talk about that yet.
But that tunnel vision cannot continue, man. I'm telling you. It's Carl, like, I'm not even trying to sound like a hater. Like, do the exercise. Watch the Celtics game. Watch what happens in the first quarter when Jason Tatum gets taken out.
Yeah, absolutely.
And watch how many times Jaylen Brown shoots the ball.
He shoots every possession.
Yeah, it's something. It's clearly something when you do give up that many points. I mean, I know that the season has its ups and downs. You're going to go through motions, but when you see the amount of scores, it's like lackadaisical, like no effort on defense. I understand we're a high volume league now, but just that amount of points, and you're the number 1 seed. Like, it's embarrassing to see that. And
it's one game,
and for me,
bro. Really?
for me, I hate, and the cameras always do this. I get it's a production point, but when you pan to the players on the bench and they're just looking lackadaisical, like
they love that shit, yo. They love that.
It's the pan of death. I get it. It's a reaction shot from the director, but it's a pan of death when you know you lost really bad. When the camera's panning to you on the bench and you're sitting there glaring, and it's like 150 points. I don't think that's acceptable. And Joe is saying whatever he wants to say in the media, but something needs to get figured out when your defense is, like, again, no defense at all. And I get your offense was off, but allowing them to score that many points, it's like, all right, you didn't come to play. I don't know. That's how I see it.
They're focusing on the bench and they're like, camera 1, take 1.
Yeah. Yep. Of course. Yeah, that's how it goes, man. It's pretty it's pretty sad and pathetic.
They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
And our last topic before we get to the MVP is LeBron's run. And I said it. Has LeBron defeated Father Time on his historical run, the way he's playing right now? And again, I was just watching NBA Today before we came on, and they were saying how, Anthony Davis carried the team for a certain point, and now LeBron's doing the same thing for him until he gets back to injury. They could still give the Lakers a fighting chance. Ziggs, has LeBron defeated Father Time?
Nope.
That's it.
Nope.
Okay, well, that's it.
You heard what
Mike?
I said. No.
Andres.
In what context?
The amount of points that he
No,
scored.
any context you put it, it's going to be
Any
no.
context you want. No.
I think.
Okay, let me say this though, because again, when we say Father Time in sports, we're like, Father Time is like, you're starting to slow down. So the body starts to slow down. Your scoring average starts to go down, and you can look at players when they get older, when they start to get 37, 38. You notice they go from like averaging 26 to maybe about 20 to start lowering it down. LeBron, over the course of the last few games, we've seen his scoring margin increase. I believe he had like 46 on his birthday or something like that, right?
47, yeah.
47, yeah. He's not playing tonight, by the way, for those fans out there.
He's scared of us.
He's out with a cold or something like that. But again, that's what I mean by Father Time, is that we start to see a digration in your game. We have not seen that from LeBron. But that's how I meant it. So
I'll let Zay go first. Yeah.
The reason why I said no is this, right? LeBron, we all know LeBron is a tremendous NBA player. You know what I'm saying? I can sit there and say he's lasted longer than most, you know what I mean? Because he's still doing it at an efficient rate. I think in the last 5 games, he's shooting over like 55% and all of this, and he's putting up big numbers. But at the same time, just like we talked about the Nets, same way you look back at the Knicks 8-game winning streak, I'm gonna plug that in there because none of these sports hit list shows talked about the Knicks 8-game winning streak.
Talk, Zig.
Talking to you, smoke and mirrors, you frauds. None of y'all talked about that, but y'all want to talk about when Luka Doncic dropped 62 or 61 on the
Knicks. But Zig, you know what? Not to end the conversation, not to add to that point. You know what's crazy about that? I blame the media for that one, because magically, all of a sudden, I didn't know that was a stat that in the last possessions of games that a team was winning. That was never a stat. All of a sudden, because Luka did it against the Knicks, it's a stat now. Like
the
it doesn't make any
Knicks had
sense.
a 99% chance, a probability chance of winning, and but they
didn't
don't
make
get
any sense. You're right.
And Carl, somebody want me to apologize for what? Is correct. For what?
But saying all that to say, just like the Knicks 8-game winning streak, just like Mike and Andre talked about with the Nets winning streak, LeBron is winning games against teams that he's supposed to win against. I'm sorry. When he played Miami the other day? When he played Miami the other day,
they got
lost.
smoked.
When they played Dallas the other day, they lost. So it's just like you're still at the same time. You're 16-21. You're 13th in the Western Conference. You've defeated Father Time. No, you haven't defeated Father Time. You have lasted longer than most players in the NBA. Yes, you're putting up proficient stats. Nobody can take that away from you. But again, it's not resulting in wins. So you haven't really defeated Father Time to me.
But
Beautiful.
I think.
Hold on. Don't just go past that. Let's let that marinate. What Zig just said. Oh, beautiful. That was perfect.
So what I think is
we're not. Okay, but so we're saying we're not. I'm sorry, Andres. We're not impressed by the stats he put up at 38 years old. I'm talking about him being 38. 38 years old.
Listen, Mac told y'all that last year. Every time LeBron does something, we don't have to keep talking about his age. Like, yes.
Listen, we just saw Messi win the World Cup at 35. Man, come on.
That's a different sport.
That's a different sport. That's different.
It has more mileage though.
NBA at 38. We've never seen an NBA player at 38 years old. Would we say doing what LeBron is doing? So I'm just giving it to you. Like,
Carl, to Zig's point, we have seen 38-year-olds play on bad teams and get numbers.
Everyone is saying in the comments, our hate is showing.
Okay.
No.
I'm not making
a shout out to Christian Dior. Shout out to Christian
Alexander should be in the MVP talks. Since we're allowed to talk about players getting numbers on bad teams, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
But that's not what we're talking about. Again, the question was for LeBron's age, what he's doing right now.
Yes.
That's what we're talking about.
Okay. So wait. So
he was very specific.
Okay, go ahead.
I think that he's defeated Father Time in the sense of like that he's getting the numbers or whatever, and like God bless him, he's putting up 45. But at the same time, what are those numbers alluding to? The Lakers are 4-4 in that span. They're a 500 team in the 8 games without Anthony Davis. He's averaging 35, 7-7 in his last 8 games without Anthony Davis. God bless him, whatever. He's defeated, but in the sense of contributing to the winning, in the sense of being a playing team, he's not contributing to that. And I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say, and I don't care. I don't think LeBron's a top 5 player in the NBA anymore, because if Luka Doncic was averaging 35, 7-7, and he was a 13th seed, you guys would be like, those are empty calories. Like that's Mike's favorite word, empty calories. So right now, let's just be consistent. We know how great LeBron is. We know he's a top 5 NBA player of all time, top 3, top 2, whatever you want to say it. But in the year of 2022, we don't care about the 4 championships. We don't care about the 20 all-star selections. We don't care about none of that. We're talking about in the year 2023. What have you done for me lately?
You know what?
Hold on. I'm not done yet.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Because I could very well say that Kevin Durant is the top 2 player in the NBA because of what he did 10 years ago. But is he a top 2 player in the NBA today? No. All right, sorry, Carl. Now you can go.
It's okay. I was gonna try to defend LeBron, but then I remember there was
there's nothing,
he had.
bro. We know he's great.
Can I finish? Let me finish. I was gonna try to defend it because I was impressed, but then I remember the comment that he made, and this is what I found when he said, "I am a winner and I want to win. Playing basketball at this level just to be playing basketball is not in my DNA anymore." LeBron, after the Lakers fell to 14-21, after they lost to your team,
the Heat.
Yeah, he made that comment.
Carl, what do we call that?
It's called "I want to get traded."
It's called a masochist. He is a masochist. He renewed his contract for $100 million for 2 years, and he knew what he was signing up for. Come on now.
Listen, it's very simple, guys. We understand this all the time. We see looters in the right. Like I said, if you're saying did he
I'm gonna get you a shirt that says that. Mike, I'm gonna get you a shirt that.
Did he defeat Father Time? We have seen 38-year-olds play on bad teams and get numbers sometimes. Now, is he getting more numbers than the other 38-year-olds on bad teams? Yes. But is his team going to make the playoffs? Probably not. So at the end of the day, we all know that. We all know this. This is the year he passes Kareem, and we will celebrate that. That's it. They're going to be trash, They are trash. Bro, they lost to the Hornets a week ago. LeBron
Mike,
was
what's
playing.
Mike,
A
what's
week
the
ago,
phrase?
the Hornets were 9-24, and they lost it on. Bro, stop. He's a
Mike, what's the
historic player.
phrase?
That's why we got to talk about him. But come on, man. This is looter and a riot stuff. Come on, man.
Wait, what is it? Looter in a riot. I need to
That's
read
Kenny
about that.
Smith. Kenny Smith was saying that for years, that there are looters in a riot. That he looking like a looter in a riot right now,
A
man.
player putting up good numbers on a bad team.
Looter in a riot, man. Looter in a riot, man.
All right, so MVP
This is
talk. It seems like this
hilarious, man.
shifts every week. So we're
Every
gonna go
day.
around every day, clearly, right? So it's like, everyone has their own pick for MVP. I don't want to list players, but you guys could tell me right now, today, where it stands, 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time, Wednesday, January 4th, 2023. Mike, who is your MVP and why?
I was actually thinking about it 2
He
days
took a
ago.
deep breath. I respect it.
No,
He took
I
a deep
did.
breath.
No, listen, because I've been 100% in one direction, but like everyone said, it's every day. But Jason Tatum, he's the best player on the best team in the league.
Here's my question to that, right? A follow-up. Does
I love
Jalen-
Ziggy, yo.
does Jaylen Brown kind of hinder that because he
No.
scored?
No. Hell no.
Not in
Okay.
the not in the least. Because
Okay.
when you watch the team, you clearly
The reason
see-
why I asked, right, but the reason
the
why I
guy.
asked that is because when you're looking at those analytics, you're looking at the other candidates. Do they have another a scorer like
every
Jaylen
other
Brown on their
candidate
team?
does.
Okay,
Every
all
other
right.
candidate
Okay.
does.
No.
Ziggy's rubbing his hands like the meme. What's up, man? You praying?
Listen.
You praying to the MVP gods?
Nah, man. I listen. I'm gonna do it like this. My MVP,
Drum roll.
Jason Tatum, right? My MVP.
Because
My MVP, just for the same reason Mike alluded to. On top of that, his defensive effort has improved 100% this year. He's doing everything on both sides of the ball. That's what I like to see. I like to see dudes who's doing it on both sides of the basketball. And Brian Scalabrine talked about that these players are getting MVP consideration. They're not doing it on both sides of the ball, which brings me to my point, or my next thing. The media's MVP.
very good, Ziggs. Very good.
The media's MVP, because his team is currently 4th, and he's putting up big numbers that they love to see,
Is Luka.
is Luka Doncic.
Yeah. So I should have asked that question.
They've been
Who's your
thirsty.
MVP and who's the media's
Yeah,
MVP?
we know, Carl, we've been talking about this for 3 years. The man with the
Yeah.
preseason vote for 3 years. They've been thirsty for this. Zig is right. They've been thirsty for this. Like,
Yeah. All right. So Andre, same question. I guess who is your MVP? And to add to Zig's twist, the media's MVP. Because that's what we're doing here. It's basically true because we'll all have our own MVP, but then when the voting comes out, we're all scratching our head like, wait a minute, time out. Like, what just what happened? Because that's what always happens. It always happens. Kid you not,
All right. I don't want Mike to cut my ass for the next 30 minutes, right? I'm gonna just say it.
I know what you're gonna say already.
The MVP is Nikola Jokic.
I knew it.
Can't get mad at that.
that's another. I'm not mad. It's just that's the.
Yes,
we
you are,
talked about-
Mike.
The
Mike, I
last
think you're
time-
mad.
No, the last time we
Mike, you're mad, bro.
I couldn't even make my point, bro.
Sorry, I know Mike's gonna be
Go ahead,
mad.
man.
It's a trigger. Jokic is a trigger for Mike. He is a
I like
trigger.
him too. That's what's crazy. I like
Listen,
him.
Mike, listen. If Jokic wins MVP, we get to erase Larry Bird from history. It's a win-win.
Wow.
And you saying that like that's a good thing. And that's why. Look at Carl's face.
Look,
You
I
talking about
love
me
it, bro.
being mad. I don't.
I love it, bro.
Now I'm gonna show
I-
a little bit of
Carl-
the green.
Carl,
I
I'm
can
kidding.
show
It's a
love to
prank.
Larry Bird. Don't be
And
disrespectful.
I got Larry Bird on my wall too, bro. Don't be disrespectful like that to legend.
Carl, it's a
Come on, man.
Carl,
That's
it's
a
a
legend,
Don't
man.
do that.
Carl,
Don't
it's
do
a
that.
prank. Carl, the camera's right behind you, Carl. It's a prank, Carl. The camera's
Oh,
right
okay.
behind
I'm hoping it's a prank. Oh, come on, man.
So with Jokic, the Nuggets have the number 2 offense. Without him, the lowest offense in the league since 2019. You guys are going to talk about defense, and I respect it. Opponents without Jokic on the court, shoot better by like 15% from 2 and from 3. Without Jokic, the lowest net rating for a team since 2012. Who won 7 games in 2012? The Charlotte Bobcats. We're talking ever.
Damn.
And with him, we're talking ever, bro. That's how bad the Nuggets are without him.
Wow.
And with him, They have the same or a higher net rating than the 96 Bulls.
Oh,
People
man.
are gonna. So let me just say something real quick. I understand. I like numbers and stuff, but let me just say something real quick. Without saying media fatigue, can you give me a valid reason as to why Jokic should not win MVP? Right now, as of
not with what you just
No, you
said.
can't. No. I can't disagree. Like I can't argue it. No.
Those numbers you just gave is the epitome of an MVP. You talk about this, one of the worst teams ever without him?
Ever. Like worse than the Charlotte Bobcats in 2012.
So who's the media MVP now?
No, he's gonna. No, I think.
No. To Andres. Andres just picked him, Joker, but that's your MVP. Who's the media MVP?
It's hard to say, man, but it's so. Okay, so I'm gonna just shout out Eddie real quick. Eddie has this idea that
Don't shout him out.
Eddie has this idea. No, but listen. Eddie has this idea that Ziggy hates Luka for some reason.
He thinks I do too. Nobody hates Luka.
He thinks
I
do too. Yeah.
I think the hypotheticals that LeBron fans had with LeBron, now they're making it onto Luka.
Yeah,
right?
good call.
We
That's
all
the problem.
It's the problem. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I do think the media MVP is Luka, but at the same time, Luka's been fantastic. But I hope and I pray to God that it doesn't reach a point with Luka where his fans tell us every day, hey, did you know he scored 60, 20, 10? Like, come on, bro. Like,
that's what they know, but they've been doing that. They have been doing. They started that.
That's what they've been doing to y'all.
He tags me every single time because you know what? Eddie does it because after I said Jason Tatum
at the crack of dawn
his career. Yeah, because I said Jason Tatum's career will be better than Luka's.
Will.
Ever since then, forget about it.
Listen, man. All I'm saying with Luka, the numbers is cute, but I mean, what was that? James Harden, help me out, Mr. Numbers. What was that? 2018 when he was dropping 30, 40, he broke.
No, 2019.
2019. What happened in the playoffs? We've seen this before, guys. When we see one individual on a mediocre team get a bunch of numbers, walk into the playoffs.
Let me just say something real quick.
Wait, hold on. Time out. Eddie says you pick who you want to pick. You do the same thing. What are you talking about?
We're doing the same thing.
Yeah. You're doing the same thing.
I don't think.
Shut up, bro. Get out of the comments, man. Damn. What are you talking about? You do the same thing. You're doing the same thing right now.
Let Andre speak, bro.
What you want to pick? No, hold on. Wait. I'm tired of what do you mean? What are you talking about?
Comments. We tired of you in these.
Come on. What are you talking? You're doing the same thing.
Tired of you in these comments,
bro. Stop it.
These comments, man. I'm never Carl ain't having it no more. I need it not having it no more, man. We're not taking it.
Andres, go ahead, man. What are you talking about, bro?
This guy Luka's ruining friendships, man. So to Ziggy's point earlier, right? I don't think James Harden got the appreciation for what he did, just like Luka is now, because Harden was doing what Luka was doing, and even better.
No, because he didn't get appreciation. No, he did.
I don't think.
Mike, hold on.
I know why he didn't, though. I see Andre's point. He didn't get it because people kept saying, "You do it now, and then come the playoff time, you wet the bed." So
right.
But that's why he was getting it.
That playoffs against the Warriors, he averaged 35 a game. Like obviously it was his fault because they lost. But like I said, I can argue on both sides. But I will say, Harden got his flowers because he was getting compared to Michael Jordan, like Mike said, and they were calling him the best scorer ever, like Ziggy said, which was a lie for both. Yeah, I will say that. But at the same time, I don't think he got his flowers like Luka is now. Like if you turned on ESPN 5 years ago, you would be like, oh, anyone could do that in NBA system. Now you turn on ESPN, it's like, oh, is Luka better than Michael Jordan?
That's true. But it's all dumb. It's dumb on both levels. Like James Harden was never the greatest scorer ever. He had the highest
usage rate.
He had the highest usage rate in league history. So he was never the greatest scorer ever. Just like Luka, 60 and 20 and 11 is kind of crazy. I'm gonna keep it real. But at the same time, that's crazy. Like
that is crazy.
Both can exist at the same time. Like that was crazy, but we still. Carl, we said this last month about Joel Embiid when he got 59. We said that's crazy, but at some point, the fans in Philly and the rest of us NBA fans are going to
want him to be healthy.
Can I see
but
you know what?
Yeah. But you know what Joel is that the problem with Joel though is he had the talent, bro. He had Jimmy Butler. He's had players. He had Jimmy Butler. He has James Harden. He's had the years.
Jimmy Butler was better than him that 2019 playoff run.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Luka doesn't have the talent because of what we've all been talking about before. His style of play is not conducive to another superstar. He has to change part of his game. We said this about James Harden when he was playing like this. When you're that ball dominant and you're a crappy defender, it's hard for another superstar to play with you. He has to adjust his game. That's why he don't have talent. It's not just
at the same time.
Dumb. Like,
so I don't think, but I don't think Mark Cuban does him any favors either. With that
look at what KP is doing right now. He just won Player of the Week. KP getting numbers right now.
Come on, bro.
So for those who are watching right now, I want them to do me a favor before we sign off. I want them to tag Mr. Greg Polius. And I know Greg has. Ziggy had beef with Smoke and Mirrors, and I kind of want to. I think I have a little bit of beef because here we represent the NBA, and Greg made a comment today in the Hit List Streets. I know you. If anyone saw it, I'm going to read it verbatim, and you guys tell me what you think. So according to Greg, he said this. He goes, "The NBA is the only sport in this country where virtually the entire discourse is centered around which player is better than the other. When people talk NFL, MLB, and even NHL, it's about the actual gameplay, strategy, etc. But 95% of NBA posts are about who is the GOAT and why. Shit is tiresome."
That's
Shut up, Greg.
Yeah, exactly. That's stupid. Like we on here, all you hear when you hear us is you hear analysis, and not when you. All right.
I just read what he said. That's what he said. Most of NBA discourse.
I should have just left it at what Zig said. Ziggs, what you said again?
Shut up, Greg.
Shut up.
Sound good to
wait, Carl.
Greg is saying a lot of crazy, great.
I mean, I don't know if he's talking about. I guess he's not talking about per se just the Hit List Streets, but he's talking about just regular NBA.
Get off the internet, then. Get off the internet. Stop playing on the internet. Like,
Biggs, what's wrong, man?
Let me say this one more time to the people because I'm getting annoyed. Yo, the internet is not the real world. Okay, I just want y'all to know that that's not the real world. Like, stop. Get off.
It's words on the screen.
Yeah.
Get off the internet.
Hold on, Carl. Before we go, we're gonna end the show on a good note. So we got Zig.
I'm saying that while we're on the internet streaming this, but y'all know what I mean.
What do we call that? Hypocrisy. So
that's exactly what that was.
So Ziggy's a big Kawhi fan. I'm a big Paul George and Kawhi fan. Mike is a big Steph guy. Ziggy. Mike is a big Steph guy.
Starting to get nervous.
So I'm gonna just say this: the Warriors are 6-3 in their last 9 games without Steph. 1 through 9 is separated by 4.5 games. In the last 8 games, Kawhi Leonard is averaging 23, 7, and 4 on 59 from 2, 36 from 3, 74 from the free throw line. That'll get fixed. And Paul George is averaging 27, 6, and 6 on 50, 40, 90 splits in his last 10. It's about to get scary in the West this second half with Steph coming back hopefully next week. I think the 13th, PG and Kawhi are starting to look like themselves again. The West is about to be a war zone. Right now, it's all mediocre teams. 1 through 9.
It is. And then now Zion just went out too. And Zion just went out too.
Yo, you know what? But let's talk about Zion. The NBA world wanted him to be Greg Oden so bad, man. Shout out to Zion. He's whooping ass.
Word. And he should be in the MVP comment. Oh, and Spider should be in the MVP conversation.
Even before the 71-point game. Even before the 71-point game. Yeah, I agree.
He should be in the MVP conversation and shout, Pacer, 4-game. Kyrie should be an all-star.
Well, you know what, Andres? We have to address this though. I mean,
let's hear it.
When Spider was on the Jazz, I had to talk about it a lot.
All right, we can talk about it.
Hold on. Can I finish my statement? There was a comment.
I'm so glad we got you here, Andre.
I'm so glad. I just remembered it because Ray Jarvis made a post about it because they were trying to figure out who was the issue in Utah, and I know
it was still Mitchell.
It was still.
We're not rewriting history. We're not rewriting history, bro.
Oh, Andres, how's Rudy Gobert doing with Minnesota?
It's their first year together, bro.
Bro, they're already.
It's Donovan Mitchell first year.
It's the first Donovan Mitchell's first year in Cleveland. What's the difference?
It's two different styles of basketball, bro. Because Cat is a big man and there's like no competent big man.
Because Gobert is trash and Donovan Mitchell is a superstar. That's the difference.
Whoa.
You see that
Donovan
now.
Mitchell's not a superstar, man. Come on now. That's a very loose
he's
term.
a really, really good all-star and Rudy Gobert gets good rebounds. Like that's the
Yo, every single
Yeah,
time
you should
I'm on
watch-
with Mike,
you should
every
watch
single
your
time
mouth,
I'm on with
yeah.
Mike, we're
How sleepy
vibing.
you look. Yeah.
We're
yeah.
vibing the
Nah,
whole episode
Rudy
until the
Gobert is
last
better
5
than
minutes.
Donovan Mitchell.
Every time
Win.
he was more valuable, bro. There's no need to rewrite history. There's
Nobody
really no need to
believes
rewrite
that.
history,
Yes,
bro.
No one believes that. No one.
Here's some X's and O's for Greg, since he wanted to talk about, NBA
Talk.
players and all that other MVPs and all that
There
nonsense.
go the X's and O's.
We've seen it already. We've seen him get exposed. For me at least, I saw Rudy Gobert get exposed in that playoff series last year when he was with Utah. Who they played against? It wasn't the
The
Clippers.
Mavericks.
The year
Mavericks.
before, and the year before that against
And
the
the year
Clippers,
before that.
and then the year before that.
He's
We know who
great
Rudy Gobert
in
is.
terms of, I guess, defending the interior, but even so now he's been a bit lackluster. He's even picking up a few more fouls in games nowadays. And Anthony Edwards was already complaining in the beginning of the season where he was like, yo, I can't get to the paint. There's 2 7-footers in the paint now. Who's he
won't
talking about?
move.
He's talking about Cat. He's talking about Gobert. Cat at least could come out to the 3-point line and do what he got to do. But Gobert is a I don't know. He's like shit in the money. He's just stuck there.
To Ziggy's point, Rudy Gobert is literally ruining their team and their style of play.
and-
He is
and
ruining it.
And the last thing that I'm going to say on the Gobert point, we've seen it already. When he gets in that pick and roll, nasty
Nightmare.
work.
It's a
it's nasty
nightmare.
work for him. He does not have the
Nasty
speed
work.
laterally to keep up with quick point guards. We've seen this. He's been getting exploited, and it's getting to him because we've seen him. He's making smart comments about what the fans are saying, like, "Oh, the fans want me to lose," and this, that. It's not that the fans want you to lose, but it's like they gave up how many draft picks to get you, and where the Minnesota Timberwolves in the ranking?
They
They give
stink.
a-
They're in the play-in.
Andres, what
They're
are your
like
thoughts
11.
about what Ziggy just said about the pick and roll? What do you think?
I'm not gonna change his mind, so why am I gonna comment?
No,
Is it
I want
true
you to
or not?
comment. But is it true or
True.
not? Do you disagree? Like,
Can he move laterally?
I plead the fifth, bro. Bro,
no,
you guys have
you're not.
your-
No, I'm
Yeah.
I'm not logging off. I got time for this. We got some time.
You guys-
you're
bro,
not
you
logging
guys-
off. Again,
Does he
I want
get
you to
abused on the
address
pick and
what
roll? Yes or no?
Listen, Ziggy just
You
gave
guys-
you time out. Ziggy just gave you X and O breakdown of a pick and roll of what Gobert does. Do you agree or disagree? Yes or no? That's the question.
You
There's
want
no
me to
plead the
answer
fifth.
it?
Yes,
I could just-
that's why I asked it to you. What do you mean?
I'll-
I want you to answer. What kind of question is that?
I'll just say yes to go with it.
No,
But it's
oh
not
my
like
God.
that.
Just
It's-
say
No,
yes.
that's-
dialogue, bro.
No,
Now
come
it's
on.
sad.
Don't do that. We don't do that
Oh,
here.
look at you
That's not what
emotional.
That's not what
Bro,
dialogue and
I'm not.
conversation is.
Listen. I'm
It's
not gonna.
about-
I'm not.
wait, time
I'm
out.
not
It's
gonna
not about
change.
changing minds. It's not
Hold
about
on.
changing minds.
Listen,
It's
Carl.
again, he gave an X's and O breakdown of a game. He's literally telling you what he's seen with his own 2 eyes. Do
Is
you
he
agree or
lying?
disagree? So you're telling me you don't
lying?
see the same thing.
Is he lying?
No, I don't.
You
What
don't
do you
think he
see?
gets abused on pick and roll? You don't think that?
Every
what do you
player
think-
gets abused on pick and roll, bro.
We're not talking
No,
about every
no,
player.
no.
We're talking about Rudy Gobert.
What?
We're talking. That's what we're
We're
talking
just,
about.
bro.
We're not
we're
talking about every single
No,
player.
no. We're talking about Rudy Gobert because he's an easy target.
Does it happen? We're not asking if he's a does it happen? Did the Clippers and Ty Lue specifically design their offense to let Terrence Mann shoot corner threes because Rudy Gobert was guarding him? Yes or no? Now we're gonna be even more specific.
No.
Yes or no?
No.
Yes or yes? Yes or yes?
No, because every single defender on the Jazz is garbage, and he has to cover for all of them because they're
man,
all garbage,
I'm asking
bro.
about Rudy Gobert. They designed their offense. Ty Lue was designing his offense to get Terrence Mann in ISO on Rudy Gobert. Yes or yes?
No.
Yes or yes?
No.
That wasn't one of the options. It's yes
Mike,
or
how,
yes.
Mike, how many good defenders were on that Jazz team? Since you want to talk about that Jazz team,
Didn't y'all have Royce O'Neal? Oh, Royce O'Neal was on that squad?
Yes.
Royce
Royce
O'Neal was getting
O'Neal.
cooked. No, Royce O'Neal was getting backdoored by Kawhi.
So in
every
other
single
words,
time. No.
so in other words, your answer is yes.
Mike
Rudy
Conley?
Gobert got cooked, and everyone else too. That's your
Mike
answer.
Conley was injured. No,
So yes, Rudy Gobert got cooked, and everyone else too. That's your argument.
no. Mike,
Oh,
I'm
Greg
not gonna
just-
change your
oh,
mind.
Greg
So what's
just
the
got-
point
oh,
of it?
Greg just
Yeah,
pulled
come
up.
on,
So
Greg.
we want to address Greg. You pulled up. We just want to address your comments about what you said early on. I want to read them verbatim since you're watching now. The NBA.
Hold on. This is on the court working in OT, baby. Let's get it.
Yes. So, Greg, you said the NBA is the only sport in this country where virtually the entire discourse is centered around which player is better than the other. When people in the talk NFL, MLB, or even the NHL, it's about actual game of play strategy, etc. But 95% of NBA posts are about the GOAT and why. Shit is tiresome. Ziggy, what was your
Ziggy?
response to that?
Oh, I
Ziggy,
thought. Wait. Can you say one more time? One more time.
say one more
Let me say
time.
one more time. Okay,
Yeah, read
I'll
it
say
one
one
more
more time.
time.
The NBA is the only sport in the country where virtually the entire discourse is centered around which player is better than the other. When people talk NFL, MLB, and even NHL, it's about the actual gameplay, strategy, etc. But 95% of the NBA posts are about who is the GOAT and why. Shit is tiresome.
Ziggy,
Shut up, Greg.
thank you.
Shut your mouth.
And
Shut
that's
your
it.
mought. At least here on the sports hit list, we break
You know
it down.
what we do here.
We talk everything.
You know
And Mike, what did you say about a certain? What you said? You said get off the. You said
Get off social media. Get off social media, my man. Stop social media.
Oh, Greg said send the link. Oh, he said send the link. Oh, we
Send
sent
it.
in the
Social media is
link.
not real
Send
life.
it.
Oh, we sent in the link, Greg.
Send it.
We sent in the link, Greg. Oh, hold on. We got time. We got time for this, bro. Oh, I'm definitely
Ladies-
sending it to
All right,
you
hurry
now.
up before I get yelled at.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching On the Court Live. This is the overtime.
Hurry up.
Brought
before I get
to you-
yelled at.
brought to
I
you
got
by-
like
You finally
I
get
got like a
overtime
spare
now.
10
I
minutes.
gotta go.
Brought to you
I
by
got
the
like a
Sports
spare
Hit
10
List.
minutes. Hurry up. before
Yo,
you yell
I
at
just
me.
sent it to him. I told him to hurry up.
Hurry
I
up.
said,
Oh, hurry up.
I'm like, said.
Get yelled at.
I'm ready for this.
Wait,
That's how
but
it is, no
Mike,
disrespect.
Mike, I will say Jordan Poole was looking shaky, but now he's looking like himself again.
All it took, listen, this was a blessing in disguise. All it took was for him to get more reps, and Steph is not there. They're all playing better. And
I'm not, Mike. I'm not gonna lie though. I was watching that Hawks game. Remember, I told you I was tuned in before the football injury. He's a bit of a nut. Klay
No, he
Thompson,
isn't.
A little bit.
No, he isn't. Not.
Get him
No,
the ball.
Thank
he
you.
literally tried to throw the
Thank
game
you.
2 times. That
Twice.
doesn't make him
Thank
not
you.
good. He tried to throw the game twice.
No.
And I was screaming at my TV. I was like, bro, if you don't give Klay the ball, like he do too much. He be doing too much. Like he know he
Klay's
got
coming off. Here's some
He be
more
doing
X's
too
and O's for you, Greg. Clay is coming off that screen, that off-ball screen, he popping out top to the three-point line.
You
Jordan
give it to
Poole
him.
dribbling,
Yo,
dribbling,
did you
give
guys
him
see?
the
Did you
ball.
guys see that
He just
ghost
hit him.
pass? Did you guys see that ghost
Hold
pass
on,
by
let me try and
Draymond to
call him
Clay?
now, 'cause I just sent
Yeah,
Clean.
Bro, like
yeah. Like,
I think
like, Jordan Poole, like you said, Zig, it was a perfect. The play was designed for Klay to get it at the top of the key. He had just hit a shot from the top of the key. You give that man the ball
Back to
and
him.
move out of the way. This is simple. Don't
no,
overcomplicate it.
All right,
He did it
bet.
twice.
We holding out for you. All right. All
I
right,
was
cool.
jumping in. I was going to jump in the TV like, come on, Jordan.
Yeah,
like,
he's
stop.
opening up his laptop right now. He said he's coming in right
Know
now.
the assignment.
I-
the assignment goes to Clay. He
I was
has
getting
50.
mad watching the game, man.
Yeah, like
the
it's
reason
the
why-
assignment.
no,
So for
Carl,
those of the
no,
fans-
Carl, we're analyzing basketball right now.
I know, but I have to
Hold on.
let the fans what's going on right now. So those who are tuning in, Greg Polius is coming on to defend his comments
Yeah,
about
somebody
the NBA's lack of
So-
goats.
No, let me say it correctly, Carl. Somebody said something dumb, so we're gonna respond to it right now. That's why.
So
That's right.
my
Okay,
thing
go
is-
ahead. Go ahead.
Mike
Yeah.
said something dumb.
Mike, the reason why I said that is because back in October, you said the only team you would be scared of the Warriors is the Clippers. So now
Yes.
that the Clippers are starting to like get their legs under them, it could be a very, very good
make me
playoff,
ner-
man.
And I said they make me nervous because of any team in the league. They have a match at every position, and they have a 5-man lineup that can work against the Warriors. The only reason why I'm still more and I was thinking about it the other day, it's going to come down to which one of their superstars can win their matchup. Can Kawhi win his matchup against Andrew Wiggins? Can Steph win his matchup against
This team doesn't
John
even have
Wall?
Andrew Wiggins yet back. Oh
Yeah,
my
but can
god!
Steph win his matchup against John Wall and Reggie Jackson? I think Steph has the advantage more
I
than
do
Kawhi
think the
has.
Clippers have to make a trade though. The Clippers have to trade one of their.
I don't
point
think they have to
guards
trade
There
anything.
he is. There he is.
I think they have everything they need.
Norm Powell is a microwave off the bench.
Hold on,
Ladies and
hold on,
gentlemen,
man.
Turn the
Hold
phone.
on.
Turn
We ain't
the
giving him
phone.
all
Turn
that.
the phone,
Oh,
bro.
no.
Turn the phone.
My
Carl,
fault.
I'm not gonna lie. He has. I'm not gonna say much. He got
Yeah.
the Mets jersey
I
on.
saw the
I'm
Mets
not gonna
jersey,
say
I was
much.
like,
He did that on
man.
purpose.
So
I'm not
I know
gonna
he
go
did.
there.
So
You-
Greg,
you
got
already-
on the Mets
first,
jersey.
Greg, first and foremost, Happy New Year, brother. I hope the family's
Say-
well.
say-
Happy New Year,
say
my
for
brother.
We
everyone.
love smoking mirrors, but you know, when I saw that, I said I was gonna comment, but I said, you know what? Let me bring that up to the NBA team conversation round. I saw it. So here to defend your comment, I'm gonna read it again for those who didn't get a chance to read it or see the post. Greg said, and I quote, the NBA is the only sport in this country where virtually the entire discourse is centered around which player is better than the other. When people talk NFL, MLB, or even NHL, it's about
Show
the
some
actual
love, and then it's
gameplay,
over,
strategy,
Greg.
etc.
Some
But
love.
95% of the NBA posts are about who is the GOAT and why. Shit is tiresome. End quote.
And hold on, before he responds, Ziggy,
Shut up, Greg.
Thank you.
Ziggy, I'm gonna get to your ashishness in a second, but Mike also said stay off social media. Now, I would like to know how that is possible when I have a weekly show that is on social media. My whole point is to join groups. Is to join groups to share the content. So when I share this, when I join these other groups, I see these conversations. And to be honest, our group is one of the better ones compared to some of the stuff I've seen in other groups. And the problem I have is, and then I saw somebody in the comments even say, "Oh, well, Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes get," but they're not being compared on who is the best of all time. They're being compared in terms of skill set, not accolades. It's who's the better deep passer, who's more accurate. You know, according they throw touchdowns in there, you know, and yards and all that. But it's about the quarterback play itself. It's not about the person. In an NBA, it becomes about the person more so than the actual gameplay. How often do we sit down and have a conversation about the type of defense somebody's running? And on you guys' show, yes, but I'm not talking specifically you guys. I'm talking in general of NBA discourse. I know Ziggy took it personally.
No, I did, and I was like, I know Greg is smarter than that because here we don't do that. But to that point, yes, do your thing. I agree with you.
First of all, that's not entirely accurate. Nick Wright is a stand. He spends every single episode talking about Patrick Mahomes and comparing him to Josh Allen, saying he's the greatest ever. So that happens every other day. I watch First Things First. That happens every other day, every week. So they absolutely do. And Greg, do you know why they do that? Because they're following us. They understand that the individuals sell the sport, so they follow us. That's why
you know what, Greg. That was going to be my argument to you is that the NBA sells its product based upon the players, right? As opposed to just selling the teams. That's not going to sell like that discourse part. I mean, I don't know if you're talking about LeBron and Jordan debate. That's just play.
Nobody has that every day, though.
Yeah, every day. If you're talking about being like Giannis, like Tatum versus Tatum versus Luka or all these one-on-ones, it's because that's what sells the NBA product is these individual players as opposed to the team. Do
you know why they have to do that? Because the NBA regular season is boring. Outside of about 5% of wait. There's more parity in the league this year, but the last 7 or 8 years, it's been a foregone conclusion who the playoff teams are, and it's a formality with, you know, Ziggy's favorite player, Captain Rest-A-Lot, who started the trend. It's something the NBA fans cannot get the top quality talent every night in, night out.
James Harden start the resting thing, bro. But continue, sorry.
Just let me get my shots in, Ziggy, please and thanks.
No. We're objective on here. No, I'm sorry. Continue.
Listen, first of all, you're not allowed to make this, Greg. Here's why you're wrong. You're not allowed to make that statement, given that you represent the Sports Hit List family, and you know that we don't do that. So you can't make that.
No. See, so Mike, and here's the thing. I can make that statement because I can still hold us above board and still call out where I see it. Again, I might be in like 40 something different groups.
Yeah, me too. I mean, that's why I partly agree with you because again, I do partly agree. And again, I'm not trying to be biased for us, but I'm in these groups and some of the comments, some of the shit I read, I'm like, what the hell is
Greg? I think to make
it really bad.
Greg, I think to make it fair, all you need to do is make an amendment. You need to say, except for the Sports Hit List NBA group, everybody just make an amendment. That's all. They do it all the time in Congress.
Ziggy tag, hot tag, Zig, go ahead.
Again, because I get emotional sometimes. I get emotional. I do get emotional. We all do. And Greg, if you want an apology, I'm like 5 blocks away from you. I could do that right now. But I took it personal because you didn't talk about the Knicks 8-game win streak. So when I heard that, I was just like, yo, I didn't get no love for the Knicks.
To be very honest with you, what I said, can you go get something to eat, please?
Yeah, it's that time, Carl. I told you.
I know. I'm
I hear
sorry,
mine
guys.
now.
I'm sorry.
I hear mine now. It's
I'm
that
sorry,
time,
guys. I'm
Carl.
sorry. Go ahead, Greg. Wrap up, man.
Bro, it's
Wrap up so
coming.
we get out of here.
It's that
Yeah.
time, Carl.
What was I gonna say? Hold
You
on.
said,
What was-
honestly,
oh,
you
the-
talk-
oh, I even told my students this year I did not care about the NBA until Christmas. I didn't. So if you even notice, it was very. I would throw a Grizzlies gift in the chat every now and then, but I wasn't following the NBA like that because I was following football a little closer. Because to me, the NBA after Christmas kind of takes off a little more. Like,
Yeah,
NBA
but you
trades
know what? I
everyone.
think even this year, it's not a foregone conclusion who's winning the championship. I don't know if this
No,
year.
no,
It's
no.
not
But
yet.
I did say this
But
year
that's
there's a lot
this
more
year.
parity.
That's this year, yeah. But last year we all picked the Warriors. We had
But
the Warriors
that's-
going, yeah.
Who?
But that's
Who's
not
we?
what I'm saying.
Who is we?
Let's
Who
slow
is
down.
we?
Ain't no we all, Carl. Stop. Yo,
You're
Carl.
you're on.
Yo, you
Who is
got-
we, bro?
Yo, Carl.
Everyone,
Yo,
hold
I'm about
on,
to be
Mike,
out, Carl.
Mike, hold on. No, hold on. Everyone and their
Carl.
mother picked the Suns. Nobody picked the Warriors. Everyone and their mother picked the Suns, bro. Don't do
Yo,
that.
Carl, you
No,
gotta-
don't do.
Hold on,
Yo,
hold on. Before I dip, I'm gonna end on this, right? Because Mike Trout is arguably the greatest baseball player in the last, I don't know, 30, 40 years. And he puts up
50.
numbers that are unfathomable. And the people don't talk about he's the greatest to ever do it. They talk about the Angels and how they're doing him wrong. They're doing him, you hear that talk more than, you know what? Trout's gonna be better than Babe Ruth. You won't hear that. You
Yeah,
know?
I mean, yeah, I get it.
No one cares.
okay, but I'm gonna play devil's advocate since this is an NBA show. Who's
Hey, man,
worse?
Mike
The
and Pooh.
people. Who's worse? The people that talk about LeBron and Jordan every day, or the people that reply to it every day?
Who?
So here's the thing. It's obviously social media bait. So people are gonna feel like they have to defend their point.
But why?
Think the people, I feel, don't ask a silly question you know the answer to. Because I saw you had defended your boo, the big 7-foot bum in Minnesota. I saw that.
There you go again.
Ash, don't take it personal. Yo, listen. Mr. Numbers, just take heart. Everybody got on me when I said Mike Bibby. I would take Mike Bibby over Jason Kidd.
Bro, they-
Bro, you gotta wear this. Bro, you gotta
get
wear
on
this,
you for
bro.
that one.
You gotta wear this, bro. You gotta wear this. You sat there with Rico Bear. You gotta die on that hill with him. You gotta wear this.
I'm still dying on the hill, bro. It's
Why? Why?
because I'm not wrong.
You are. You're
No,
demonstrably
I'm
wrong.
not.
A man just
No,
got
I'm not,
71 the other day. Like, you're wrong, bro. On every level. You're wrong.
Bro,
man.
he got dunked on. He got dunked on, and he didn't jump.
Oh, Zion. That's right, Zion. And you was just bigging up Zion too.
How did we get back to me? We were talking about Greg, yo.
Nah, no,
bro.
we're gonna get these jokes off because you
Yo,
disrespected Spider Mitchell. So we're gonna get these jokes off right now. I ain't seen you in a minute, too. We gonna get these-
Yo,
All right,
I
guys. I guess
think
you guys-
I think my dad's calling me. Hold on.
Like, share,
that's right.
comment,
Get up out of
subscribe.
here. That's right.
Tonight we have Pro Wrestling Injection for AEW content. The B Show will be live tomorrow at 6 p.m. with the missus.
Wait,
Usher.
Carl. I gotta throw
What's
this in there
What's
because
up?
y'all know I always, since my man on here, I always talk crazy about baseball. It's boring and all that. But y'all know I always been a Mets fan. But I be chilling sometimes. And I'm gonna shout out my bro Greg because I was on the fence. Well, not on the fence, but I was on a cliff. I was about to jump off, and my man kept me calm. He was like, "Yo, don't worry about it. We good." So shouts out to my brother since he on there. I was texting him. I was like, "Yo, bro, what am I gonna do? Should I be excited? Should I not be excited?" So he kept me from jumping off the ledge, man. So salute to you, my brother.
No problem. You know I got you, bro.
Yeah, so definitely again check out the Sports Hit List content. We got a lot of things coming for 2023. Greg is on here. Him and his brothers are getting their own documentary called Bases Loaded this spring.
Word.
Coming for the Sports Hit List documentary division.
I'm gonna drop this tidbit here. I'm making an executive decision. It's gonna be a black tie affair.
There we go. Yeah. So it's coming soon. So make sure, again, we got a lot of big things coming in Hit List Streets. Always like, share, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. You can find us on all social media platforms. You can find
Where'd you get that
Heroes
from?
and Wonders. Say again?
Who'd you get that from?
What?
Tell a friend to tell a friend.
I don't know.
They-
It's all over the place. That's all I'm saying.
Caribbean community for years.
Again, tell a friend to tell a friend. All social media platforms: Facebook, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Tonight, Pro Wrestling Injection. Tomorrow, the B Show. and Smoke and Mirrors on Monday at 7:15. You guys will be back, right?
Yes, we will.
All right. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Mike, Carl, one more thing.
What's up?
Last year I lost a bet with Eddie and I had to wear a Yankee shirt. This year's a new year, so I don't have to wear that shit anymore, baby.
Oh, get out of here. Tomorrow. Oh, one more thing. Tomorrow, Eddie and I will be watching the Tatum versus Luka Doncic matchup. Boston Celtics versus Mavs. We're going to the bar to watch that game. It'll be good. And then next week, I'll be at Barclays Center. It will be a problem. That's all I'm saying for Net fans. I'm telling you right now, my mouth will be a problem. Just giving them a heads up. Right,
hey, yo.
Hold on. Where are you and Eddie watching the game? Is it local?
No, we'll be in Rockville Center.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
No, we're not just gonna walk past what Carl just said, y'all. Pause.
Okay.
No. Let it breathe so we can clip it.
I'm deleting this video. I'm gonna delete the end of the show.
All right, fellas, appreciate y'all.
I'll talk to you.